Aquarium, how's everybody doing? Uh, I actually got to see one of y'all today. Jackson Tax came and visited me right before I had to go run some errands. How's it going, Patty? Indoor fishing inside, the Yeti, Deborah, Alec the Nice, and oh no, you shattered a 90p? I am so sorry. That is a bummer. Muppet, what's going on? Scott's Aquatics, what's going on? It's good to see y'all in here. Uh, so, I just wanted to quickly mention that fake name. Hey, what's going on? How's it going out in the boot your area in Canada? Um, I made a video I made a video on my Pea Puffers that I recently got. That was a long video. And then I made another video on basically how you can support YouTubers for free. So there's two main ways. I'm gonna spoil like a 30-minute video, but I really got into like how the algorithm works and what it is that YouTube wants from creators and wants from viewers, essentially. So if you're interested in that for your own channel or for watching channels, knowing how to get less ads shown to you and how to make your money go farther if you do want to support a channel, that's a good video to check out. But before we get into the questions and answers and updates on what's going on around here, I wanted to tell you guys that you guys have probably seen Amazon affiliate links, right? So affiliate links are a link where you agree with the company that you will show what they sell, and if people go there, you get a small percentage. So in the case of Amazon, usually you get somewhere between like 0.5 or half a percent of the profit. So that can be really great sometimes, or if it's a tight profit margin item, it can be literally a tenth of a penny or something. And then all the way up to 8% in some categories. But regardless, anything a person buys once they're at the Amazon site from the affiliate link, anything they buy, the commission goes back to the person who posted the link. And the price remains the same, it's as low as it ever was. Basically, Amazon counts it as an advertising fee or an acquisition fee. So, if you don't have money to spare but you want to support a creator, go to their description in their on their Instagram or on their YouTube, or maybe it's Facebook, whatever. And if they have affiliate links, or on their website, if they have affiliate links on Amazon, next time you need to buy something on Amazon, say you need to buy a wrench or a new hard drive, whatever, click on something that's on their list and then buy your thing. And as long as you got there by going through their link and then searching Amazon, you will end up sending them the money, that whatever percent it is, for free, basically. So it's a great way to reward somebody that you like their content. So I try to do that. Corvus Oskin, he's always done the affiliate links big time. Where, you know, every single thing in his fish room, and even like the cameras he's using or the glasses he's wearing, oftentimes he will link to those things. But even if your channel's not monetized yet, you can become an affiliate link creator for Amazon. You may not be a partner or affiliate with YouTube yet, but through Amazon you can do it. So it's another tip for people to make money on YouTube if they're, or online in general, even if you're not monetized yet, if you don't have enough people. The next way is a little more intense, but it's still free in the sense that if you see somebody advertising Squarespace or Skillshare or Audible. Right now in my description, I have Audible. So I love Audible. It's free. You get two free downloads of any books you want. And those 2 free downloads, you get to keep forever. It doesn't matter if you keep the service or not. You've got audio files, basically MP3, whatever, on your iPod or phone or laptop, tablet, TV, whatever, and it lets you keep them. You get to keep that stuff just for trying it, and the user you tried it through. So all you have to do is click on the link through them. You don't have to enter any codes or anything. Just click on the Audible link in the description. Try it for 30 days. If you don't like it, cancel it. The creator still gets somewhere between $1 and I think $3 or $4. It depends on the user and the category their videos listed in, and the first 20 people do a certain amount, and then so it's a sliding scale. But long story short, if you don't have cash on hand, or you just can't afford it that month or whatever, you can sign up for one of those services that your favorite creator has, and they'll get a commission. Now, if you decide you like it and you end up keeping the service, usually that commission fee doubles, and it can be $5, $6, 10, up to $10, depending on what service it is. That's usually if they're not paying you anything up front, because big channels like, say, Aquarium Co-op or KG Tropicals or something, if they want to, or KG Aquatics, I should say, if they want to run an ad with 100,000 or 200,000 subscribers, oftentimes companies will say, here's $500 for every 10,000 viewers you have on your subscribing, and you get the commission. So the things differ, but for small channels, it's a great way to support them. So I just wanted to throw that out there for those of you who have your own channel, and for those of you who are just wondering, how can I support channels without money? I mean, that sharing, liking, watching the video all the way through, clicking on it as soon as you see it, basically whoever wins the quickest click from a thumbnail and then gets the most watch time from the thumbnail, that's how they rank things on YouTube right now. So just wanted to kind of throw that out there, and I hope it helps some other fellow creators. My thumbnail did have pictures of a bunch of you that are in here of your channels, like Jess at Manes, Tails, Fins, and Fur and Fins, sorry, and Pete, and let's see who else is in here right now. But in any case, so I did, Bentley and Scott, and just I had all these thumbnails, and I wanted to kind of give them a spotlight, but literally I haven't made a video in over 3 years that's gotten that low of numbers, and I think it was just too chaotic. So sadly, I just did a really generic picture of money with a sign, a crossed out sign, as the thumbnail and some wording, and it got 200 clicks. But literally I had, I think, 30 clicks or something in the first hour and a half, which is unheard of low. But I get it. I put it under entertainment. It's not strictly to do with fish or anything, and it's a long video. But if you want to know how YouTube works, where they take their cut, how you can avoid being shown a bunch of ads, because YouTube learns who's willing to sit through ads versus who skips them, and also what those ads should be about, whether they're the 30-second ones, whether they're the 15-second ones, whatever it may be. So, in any case, just wanted to let you guys know that that's up, as well as a very, very deep dive into the amazing world of the Pea Puffer, which I have right here. We have some Pea Puffers. There's one right there hanging out, and here's the rest of them all hanging out like little velociraptors, and they're doing well. I put them in here with some dwarf gold eye cichlids, and they're quite a bit bigger. They're a good, this big, and the little puffers are attacking them. But a couple interesting facts to start off our show before I tell you guys any answers to your questions is that when pea puffers are this age, all of them, every single one, is a female. And then one of them gets the cojones to say, I'm going to be a man, an alpha man of the group. And in their little section of the river, lake, whatever it may be, they start actually, not only do they get testosterone and pheromones in themselves that are and hormones that are related to males, but they actually put out active blocking hormones. So they put out a chemical, these little pea puffers, and this actually can impact your other fish, especially if they're small and in a small tank. They actually put out estrogen and then testosterone blockers. So that can actually impact how breeding is going and the outcome of what gender your fish are, or what sex I should say. Gender's different, but which they are. Now, the last thing I wanted to say about these little pea puffers, and it's going to be harder to see on a live stream, but luckily he swam right up to the front, is that pea puffers actually come in two species in the hobby very frequently. And it was only realized maybe 10 years ago that in the hobby, where they're collected in the wild, that something like 20% of pea puffers are not pea puffers. They're actually a Carina tetradon imposter is what it's called, or imitator, and they are very similar, but they have little dots, and the males don't have a line on their belly, and the males don't have any iridescent blue, so they're a little more drab, and so they kind of look like a female pea puffer, but they're the same size. They look really similar, and they're found in the same rivers. So just kind of an interesting tidbit. They also tend to be more aggressive and more solitary, and so you don't want them if you can avoid it. So just a little note there. That video goes in much more detail about it if you're curious. But that's what's up with that. Now let's answer some questions. Now that we got some folks in here too, H2O, what's going on? Hello from New Zealand, right on. Mariah, hello. What are my thoughts on almond leaves and alder cones? Yes, no, I love them. I have, almond leaves. I have a big old bag of them right here. This tank is a tank that I actually put any fish with parasites or bacterial infections, and I treat the whole tank. But the acidity of the almond leaves, because it'll bring the water down to like as low as 5.0 pH, if it's a small tank and you just load it with leaves and don't do a lot of water changes, you can really drop that pH low, and that really gets rid of a lot of parasites, a lot of fungal infections, and a lot of bacterial infections. So I like to use it for that. I also like to use it in tanks like this where I don't have a filter and it's kind of imitating a stagnant pond or pool in like a creek bed during the dry season, things like that. So it's really, I think they're really handy. And yes, alder cones work. The other thing that works really well are these, which are, let's see here. Come on. They're from acorns. They're the little acorn caps. Those work really well, but be careful. They're actually a little too strong sometimes. Isabel Chassé, hello. How are you doing? Spirulina, what's up, man? Petroman, what's going on? Craig, hello. Beanden H, hello. Geek Boy, what's up? And Kevin, hello. Hello. Spirulina says, I want you to make money however you need to, because I love your content and want to support you. But Amazon is destroying the Amazon, and I say boycott it and support local fish stores as much as possible. Same with Audible. I understand that sentiment. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like, cryptocurrencies, for instance. They're now responsible, Bitcoin alone last year was responsible for 1% of the entire globe's energy usage. And that's to create a currency that's basically assigned a random digital number that's well, not random, but somewhat random. Every 10 minutes, a coin is minted, so to speak. And the amount of processing power, electricity used simply in graphics processors for computers is so much that 1% of the world's energy is being used on Bitcoin farms. Specifically Bitcoin, not cryptocurrency, just Bitcoin. And a lot of them are in cold places, Norway, Scandinavia, and thing to try to cool down the amount of heat that they put off. Because they also need to run water through the thing and divert that, and it's crazy. Muppet says, are you using root tabs and liquid fertilizers? What kind of light and how long is it on for? Are you talking to someone else or to me? If it's to me, do an at the secret history living in your aquarium, or at Alex even. I can usually catch. And like I said, if you happen to be a channel member, like those of you with the little icon next to your name with the little fish picture, then it stays on my screen in Top Chat for longer and highlights your questions. So, I mean, whatever. It's probably not worth $1.99 to do that. But for a long time, the $1.99 option was gone on my channel because I used the word that I would be allowing people to buy from my Snow White and the Seven blanks. That word that means small or is a medical condition. It's actually considered like hate speech, or I don't know, like bullying on YouTube, and it gets flagged, and therefore because of that they took down the option. And so I'd been preaching about, oh, you guys only need to spend $1.99. I get 70% of that $1.99 a month, and that helps going to meds and lights and electricity bills, all that kind of stuff in the fish room. Whereas like my merchandise, if you guys buy a shirt from my Teespring store, then that all goes to, right now, that's all going to charity. So that's going to things like Project Piaba, things like Running River, or I guess, or Son of Running River, I guess, and, Ohio Fish Rescue, things like that I'll find, and worthwhile endeavors. That's what I want to do with that. Hey, Father Fish, what's going on, Lou? I don't think you've seen the total fish room yet, but I'll just step back for a sec. So I got another mat the other night. This one was expensive. This one was $49 or something like that is what it came out to. But it's a 6x4 splash mat, and every square foot can hold a gallon of water, and then it's got rubber and like latex rubber combo with like some sort of plastic laminate under it so that it won't soak through. So I need to cut one more piece that fit right here, just a little strip of it. But other than that, then I'll have this all covered, and I'll feel much better than dropping stuff on the hardwood floor. But yeah, Mary Page says, hit that like button. Yeah, we got, 55 people in here and 25 likes. If you like what you're hearing, I'd appreciate if you hit the like button or the dislike button. Either way. Let's see. Alex, Holly says, and hello, Holly. Is Maricin for beta with Popeyes and one eye missing? Yeah. I mean, it'll treat a bacterial infection. It's erythromycin is what it is, basically, which is for, just so you guys know, if you're ever wondering the difference between when do I need gram-negative versus gram-positive antibiotics, the easiest way to tell, a general rule of thumb, now I'm not a doctor or a veterinarian, but I was told by a veterinarian, so if it's a mouth, like in their mouth or on the outside of their mouth, if it's an open sore, if it's an eye thing, or if it's in their stomach, like a bloating thing or a wasting thing that's not parasitic, you've ruled that out or whatever. If you decide that it's a bacterial infection, then you use gram-positive, which is erythromycin, and that treats bacteria that breathe oxygen. So bacteria that need to do respiration with O2 or air. Whereas gram-negative bacteria, so things like Metroplex 2 or Furin 2 That's gram negative stuff, and that's for that's for infections that are under the skin, or big welts or bulges in the body or in the face, or blistery looking things, or preventative for those things. If it's under the skin where there's not oxygen, then it's gonna need the gram negative. So that's just, I hope that helps. But there's so many brands out there. It's hard to keep track of what is what, and people will ask me, in Italy, what is this brand good or whatever, and I have to look it up. But those are some good little rules of thumb that I hope help a little bit. But let's see here. Um, Hello, Mary. Hello, P and J Cole. Hello. Deborah Sanders says, been following you for 3 years. Appreciate your knowledge and how you present your content. Well, thank you very much. I really do appreciate that. It means a lot to me, and I do know, when people say something, when people are lively in the chat, when they have questions, when they help other people with their issues, or when I see them on other channels, in Father Fish's morning chats, which I basically just have not been awake because it's like 5 or 6 a.m. this time where I live when he comes on. Usually on the weekends it's different, though. I have no excuse other than being busy doing whatever in the new house. But he was on just before I went, as I'm sure many of you know. Let's see here. Biscotti Nanya says, crypto miners want cheap power, which is renewable energy, so I disagree. Power prices make a huge difference for miners. With the cryptocurrency, I mean, it depends totally on where they're at. Totally depends on the people. There's ethical, people. There's also people like with Ethereum, they're moving towards a new system that's not going to require huge computing, amounts. It's going to actually just be a dividend or stakeholdership, and then be basically whoever takes care of the system and is housing the system and has redundancies in the system, kind of like a BitTorrent site mixed with stock dividends, that will randomly generate amounts for anybody who has a share, and it'll be proportional, so they won't need to crunch numbers with huge processing rooms and factories essentially. So in any case, Aqua Balls, what's going on, George? Good to see you. Alan Tooth, what's up? Good evening, Alex. Haven't talked to you in a long time. I have an angelfish that has open sores all over her body. What would be a good antibiotic to use there on the outside? I would say I would use erythromycin, and that could be a lot of different brands, but I like APIs, just straight erythromycin. You can also get it generic if you get it from your local fish store, or someone like Father Fish who can get things. Both dewormers, antibacterials, antifungals, things like that. You can get bulk kind of generic, and sometimes that's a lot better price wise, because I know it's pricey. I've seen it for like $20 lately at PetSmart for enough to treat, like, I don't know, 120 gallons or something, which if you have a small tank, that doesn't sound that bad, but it's awful if you have a big tank and you're trying to treat your fish while in there. Jackson Tax, what's going on? I just saw her this afternoon, and I've got some, she got some fish for me, guppies and endlers, a while back, and I've got endlers and guppies from her, and she's had them outside and also in ponds and tubs, and so they've actually colored up beautifully. Plus, she's had them for a while. She's been a long time viewer. Plus, we know each other through the grapevine of fish keepers in my area, even though she's an hour and a half south of me, out in the boonies. No offense, out in the beautiful countryside. But she also brought me some beautiful, because I think it's had a lot of sunlight, but the fairy moss, or as it's also known, Azolla, I think it's pronounced, or Azolla, which is a floating, similar to duckweed or Rukia fluitans, kind of. It's like a little, almost, it almost looks like a lichen, but it's purple, and when the sun's on it, it's like purple and red, whereas it can also be green, kind of like frogbit or red root floaters in that regard. But yeah, let's see here. At my house, I have fin and body cure from API. Would that do anything? It may. I mean, if it's a fungal issue or a parasite issue, if that's what caused the sores, then it may. If it's a skin issue like staph infection or like MRSA, something like that, but for fish, then it's not going to help at all, and there's a good chance it'll die. When I don't know what caused a fish to get sick or to have blisters, lesions, acting really odd, irregular body bowel movements and things like that, I generally treat them with an antibiotic, put them in water with some tannins if they're a fish that likes that. I mean, you wouldn't want to do that with a Lake Tanganyikan fish, but put them in some water with tannins and really neutral water with slightly acidic, on the slightly acidic side, even though it has low KH, low GH, and a lower TDS. Somewhere in the like 6.5 even will help to even that out and kill whatever bacteria was living on the surface of their body. You can also, if there's something like a gourami or an angelfish, you can drop that down all the way to like 4 or 5 pH, and that oftentimes is enough to knock out even parasitic or fungal infections. Also, over here, I just thought I'd point this out. These guys are hunting shrimp that are hiding up in here, and they're Malawa shrimp, but the shrimp seem to be too good at getting away, and so I'll see them catch one. I've seen it once or twice, but yeah. Also, my little pleco from Aquatic Arts is in here, the Sultan pleco, and in the front, kind of. It's too dark, won't focus on them, but maybe we can get them to come out. Let's feed a couple tanks here. So yeah, Azalea's very red to purple, light red, different shades of green may be edged in pink. Ah, thank you. Shrimpies be fast. Yes, they be. Martin TV, I hate to buy the wild caught animals, so is there any chance to get homebred or to breed some back to the store? What are you talking about? Oh, sorry. On the internet, there is info about breeding them in brackish, but it also says they're similar to a mono, which is absolutely not in brackish. Alex, I know you are in shrimp. Oh, the red nose, short nose shrimp. Are you talking about what's called the Pinocchio shrimp, or are you talking about the Japanese algae eating? I think they're like Paraperdentata, Caridina species, or are they the Babalti one? Either way, if you have to raise it in brackish water, the general thought in our hobby right now is don't bother, because there's what we call lower order shrimp and higher order shrimp. And lower order shrimp are shrimp that have larval babies. So these shrimp here, these malawas and gold nebulas that are from Sulawesi, the island of Sulawesi in Indonesia, they are higher order or first order, and that means that their babies are going to be born as little teeny versions of them, just like cherry red neocaridinas, or just like these. Here's another one that is. It actually, these, I know it's dark, but these algae eaters have babies, and these are the Japanese short nose algae eating shrimp, but there's no red on their nose or anything. But these ones from Aquatic Arts, I forget their Latin name at the moment. Sorry, guys. But they're called Japanese algae eating shrimps on their website. They will have babies that are going to hatch, and then all of a sudden they never do in the fresh water, or they do and they only live a couple days and then they die. Well, this is mostly due to, it's not even the pH or anything like that. What it is because of is, it's because they don't have the plankton and all the little tiny krill and nutrients that's in salt water that you find in saltwater environments. It's just not there for them, unfortunately, and so they it's very hard. So even if they're not larval, if they're saltwater, then there's other shrimp like a mono shrimp that actually need the little larvae to grow out in the water, and they leave the area, and people can breed those in brackish water even though they are larval in theory. I mean, and they do it in the trade in big facilities, but it tends to be, if you already have a saltwater setup, then you can use mix half and half or whatever it may be, but you can start playing with that and try to spawn some. However, I would say the long and short of it is no. I've not had any luck nor seen anybody in the hobby that's not setting up a system that's literally, they've got reef tanks that are mimicking all the plankton and algae and seaweed and everything that you would find in like a real biotope saltwater tank. Because it's not just, like I said, it's not just the salt, it's not just the pH or the KH or anything like that. It's the food source and the protein levels. That's really what is more important. We're just gonna feed a couple tanks just to get everybody lively while we're hanging out here. And the other fish that are like that, and they're now starting to breed them in captivity, are gobies, stiphodons, and some of the other ones too. The bumblebee brackish goby and the bumblebee freshwater goby. They're not really ones to breed in freshwater, obviously. But it's not a chemical thing. It's the babies aren't going to die from that. What they're going to die from is not having food. But in the case of where are they? I was hoping they'd come out when we fed. In the case of the stiphodons, or neon and cobalt and gold neon, blue neon, orange fin gobies, all those very tiny kind of micro gobies that have the long slender body, those are they spawn, they come out, and then they go forth into the world, and they swim out sometimes up to 500 miles, and from wherever they live, they go out, and then they go out, and they sorry guys, I'm trying to spit it out, but of course I'm fiddling with feeding the fish here so that we can watch them go berserk. Yeah, 500 miles. So they'll leave where the stream they were born, swim out into the ocean, swim all the way to a new island altogether, and then have babies in that stream, and their babies will swim to a new island altogether from that one. So it's a pretty extreme way to live. It's kind of like salmon, if the salmon had to restart every time they got to a spawn point. I mean, boy, talk about a rough life, guys, right? So I'm getting ready for summer tubs and things, and finally my wife kind of gave me a heads up on where I can put things, so I'm excited about that. George Eichen or Licken, I'm going to assume it's Eichen. Love the videos you do. Thanks for watching from UK. Or love the videos you do. Thanks. I'm watching from the UK. Well, awesome. Cheers to you. Have a great Evening, early morning? What is it there? Oh, yeah, okay. So the Pinocchio was what you're talking about, yeah. From Toledo, longtime fan, first time live viewer, submerged right on. Well, welcome. Jack Blackman, what's going up? Nola Jane, of course, hello. Let's see here. Smash that like button, as Nola Jane Fish Rich says. 15 haven't hit like yet. Oh, you better hunt them down. H2O. Wish I could hit it twice. Thanks. Watch, I'm gonna get demonetized over that one. Let's see here. Gotta go for dinner. Have a good one, people. Alright, fake name, have a good one. George is here. George is here. Mr. Gromby, you are here too. That's good, dude. Welcome, Mr. Gromby. Mr. Grombyson. I don't. Oh, dang it! I just dropped fish food. Good thing I put down the mats. Let's see here. I love these lizard cats. I'm gonna try to get more bizarre everything. All the weirdos fish that I always love. You know, RoboCop. Yes, that's a real Latin name. RoboCop the fish. These red lizard cats. You know, anything that's weird, I like. Especially, you know, farwallas, all that kind of stuff. I'm just intrigued. I'm just perplexed and enamored. Look at these guys coming up to the top. These Corys will actually eat out of my hand. Look. See that? They're so tame. Yes, you can tame your fish. Yes, you can teach many fish tricks. People don't realize these things, but you can. And look, it's a betta. Very pretty betta. A red and yellow betta that I found in this tank that had been hiding forever. And I apologize about all the noise in here. I know that one of the filters is real loud. Also, I dropped some scissors in this tank, but I didn't want to reach in and get all wet and then hold the camera and gimbal and mess it all up. But I do want to thank everyone for the support with the channel. As I said, you know, all the super chats, the subscribers, the channel members, and all the stuff. Basically, anything that's linked in the description is stuff that helps fuel the channel, or stuff that I want to help other channels with, or causes with. You know, we've, as you guys probably know, Aquarium Cop, unfortunately, he passed away, Bill. And he was a great guy, but we were able to, as a community, raise over $7,000 online for his family and for his funeral and all that stuff. And I mean, stuff like that we can all participate in as fish tubers, whether you're a viewer or a subscriber and just a fan of a channel or whatever. It's really incredible, and it's next level. You wouldn't see that necessarily on a channel that's about reacting to drama videos or something, or kind of comedy based channels, I suppose. You just don't get that same tight knit, really, family. It really is. So thank you guys for that, and thank you for the support of all that we're doing. Also, I'm gonna try to do a species spotlight at some point on the mustard catfish that are in here. I've got 5 of them in here, and they're all big. They're all like this big. They're getting too big for this tank. They need a 40 breeder. So they might get moved when I finally set up this tank. And as I said, I think I'm gonna set this one up like this one with rainbow fish, but I also want a bunch of shrimp, pseudomagills, and these little teeny nano, I call them nano gobies, or micro gobies, whatever you want to call them. But the thread fins too, and I've been breeding the thread fins. We'll take a look at their babies, and also we can take a look at the spawning method I've been using too. But before we do all of that, I wanted to show you guys, we're gonna feed these tanks just because I need to do it, and y'all are my captive audience. right? But here's Stiphodon's beautiful cobalt blue one. Look at it. It's just incredibly colorful right now, ready to spawn. It wants to go to that other island chain. It wants its babies to go on a journey, finding Nemo style, and complete the circle of life, Lion King style. I'll just name drop kids movies until somebody relives their childhood and feels happy about it. Um, is Father Fish still in here? I mean, maybe we've got like the Little Rascals. How about that? Is that reliving your childhood? No, I know it's a little old. I'm kidding. Look at the leopard uh, right here, if we can see it. Leopard frog pleco, full grown now. The female, 2 years ago. She's full grown. Her colors are a little off because it's daylight, but I'm just trying to expose where she's sleeping on this leaf. She's been a lot more bold lately. But the other ones, there's 3 other youngins, and then there's also the Nanochromis here. And then these Cories that are the orange Venezuelans. All 3 of those I would like to spawn and breed, including that pleco for sure. Obviously, they're very expensive, $200 or $300 as adults easily, up to $600 for breeding pairs. And so that's something that I've had a long time invested in, a lot of care for those animals. So hopefully we can get something going, because the lemon plecos are sure going at it, doing it, making babies for us. And the other thing is I need to get CO2, because you can see here the tanks. This tank was doing so much brighter and better, more colorful. CO2 hasn't been running, and boom, it's kind of, I mean, there's still pinks and things, but they're not that crazy color that you see in the wild on like a really sunny river, you know. So hopefully we can get some of that going. I've got a filter pad right here ready to go for the next tank that needs it. So we can slip that in and we'll be ready to go. Over here, yeah, this is what I was talking about. This is why I need to get the CO2 more than any other tank. Is just right here. I just need to get this growing again. I cut back all the extra growth in here. And also, you guys remember the CPDs that had the white blotches on their body? It looked like their mucus layer on their body had just got worn off, and it looked like faded slightly. Well, it turns out that it was some sort of fungal issue that was on them, and so putting them in the tank with those other fish up in the blackwater tank in the other room, that totally cured them by a week in. So they'll be coming back soon. I just want to make sure that the fungus really is done. We're going to take a look outside really quick and see the one tank I've got out there right now, and what I'm setting up for summer tubbing, as it were. We'll take a look. And also, I'll show you where the plan is to set up my native North American fish / cool water fish. I might do some like bitterlings or some loaches that are cool water fish too this year. I don't know. We'll see. But over here where all this trash is that the former owners left is under the window. And so I'm going to run a hose up here, and there'll be a pump that's inside the house. And then the hose will be here and have a loose piece, and I'll be able to connect it and then have a PVC little valve that basically I'll be able to hook over the lip of every tank, and that will pump the water out, and that will pump it down into a hose, and then it'll turn into a soaker hose out here. And then my wife's garden bed I'm going to build out here. I mean, it'll be both of our gardens, but that should be here. And should be really cool to have that going on. And yeah. H2O says my royal farrowall is spawn regularly every 2 weeks. Wow, do they grow up fully? That's interesting. Let's see here. Where can I find blue really shrimp? Sometimes Aquatic Arts has them. I've seen them at Flip Aquatics. Sometimes has them. I've seen them on Aquabid sometimes, I guess. But I'm not sure off the top of my head. Sometimes the Wet Spot in Oregon has them online too. Come on. So hard to do one-handed. All right, so over here, this is going to be a tub where I'm going to start all my lilies and any bigger fish that need to be warmer with the black radiant heat. And then over here, I actually tried, they were acclimated to about 60-degree water is what Jackson Tax was telling me. But these fish are incredibly bright and beautiful. I mean, you guys know how bad color is on a live stream, and I want to let's just kind of get some of these guppies to move around for you real quick. They are just gorgeous. She has raised them, and right now there's no direct sunlight out here, but they glow like they have an LED in them because the iridophores have really, really, I guess, matured on them. And that the iridophores are the little molecular sized, they look like a triangle, basically like the Dark Side of the Moon album cover. They're a prism that looks like kind of a triangle or a trapezoid, but it reflects light back at you, right back at where the light source and the viewer is. So there's, I think it's called the law of right angles. And it's actually the same principle exactly that, and there's Daphnia. That's my Daphnia tank year round. But that's the way that reflectors on cars and reflectors on like on stop signs that light up when your headlights hit them, same exact thing. So kind of cool. All right, we'll go back in and we'll check out who's eating what, or who's eating whom, perhaps. Hopefully not that situation. Bluefin killies, boy, I'd like to get some of those. All right, let's see here. We're gonna turn back on the wireless. Let's see how that goes. All right. Daniel Keeper Fish, what is up? Welcome. Good to see you. Jerry Serple Morris, hello. Hello, everyone. Good to see you. See you again. Bum, bum, bum. Oh, there goes one of the Stiphodons in there. I knew they'd come out. There they are. They're crawling all over. They're doing their acrobatic tricks right now because they love these carnivore pellets. A combination of the carnivore pellets, and I forgot about these. You guys probably saw this in a video. But the algae wafers that Aquatic Arts makes, you know, a lot of times everyone has to make their own name brand of everything. And I, you know, honestly, of course I like Aquatic Arts. I like working with them. I like the fish they have. But I kind of thought like, I don't need algae that pellets or spirulina that is their brand. Well, it turns out that it's like crack to the fish. Like they cannot resist it. Whatever they put in it, I have no idea. But even like non vegetarian fish are totally into it. So there's that. Now over here, we'll take a look in these vats, which are where I'm collecting my rainbow fish eggs. Also, we've got some new tissue culture plants that hopefully I'll be putting in one of these tanks, or maybe this tank, we'll see. And hopefully these guys start spawning. If they don't, they're going to go back into the community tank, but right now they're alone other than some some guppy fry, basically. But in here, if we hold this up to the light, Aziz light, you can see, probably, maybe, some babies. There's one baby swimming around on the left-hand side of your screen, right above the little piece of moss. And, let's see here. I can't tell what else is going on without a light. It's hard to see them. These rainbow fish, these threadfin, and the Rhamnocentris ornatus babies are so incredibly tiny. I mean, they're teeny tiny. We'll take a look in this loach tank for the ones that are already swimming around in there. But I'll show you also real quick. We'll see. I want to try spawning these guys, so and we'll find out about what that's going to take. But here's the Stiphodons again. Um, the bummer thing was I got the Stiphodon female of the cobalt blue variety. I got her totally buried, or whatever you want to call it, swollen, egged up, and her belly was huge. She was all over the male, like showing off in bright colors, and so was he, but they just didn't have babies. She didn't even attempt to lay eggs, and I guess it's because they didn't have that salt water that they really just need. But over here in this tank, if you can see it with the glare, we'll pull out this. So this is the spawning mop, and it's a natural one. And these fish, man, they have been just, oh, I'm getting wet. Where I thought I had the lid to something around here. Okay, well, we'll put it on the towel for now and take a look and see if we can find anything. But like I said, this tank here is ready to go. Getting foggy up in her. So does anybody have any... Hey, Chevy, how's it going? Good to see you. Does anybody have any other issues, fissues, if you will? 4 years fish, what's going on also? So I love outflow pipes as a moss spawning mop. They work incredibly well. So what I'm going to do here is we're going to take a look at this. You guys won't see anything for a sec. Let me find an egg first, and then I will show you guys. I can show you my world. Lots of eggs on mosses. Little teeny ones you'll barely see. Okay, here we go. So, can we even see it? There's an egg right there. Can you guys see that? I'm going to put the egg in front of... Where did it go? The egg in front of... Okay, here we go. The black up on... No, that's too light. How about in front of... the black here? We'll get this contrasting it. There. It's right there. Can you guys see it on the tip right? We're looking at it right there. There's an angle where you can see it. And that's a big egg right there. So let me try to point with the same hand I'm holding the gimbal with. Right there. That's an egg there. So I just get those with my hand. And I just gently roll them off with my fingers. But you'll also see there's more teeny tiny little eggs all over this thing. Let's see if I can zoom out with it stationary. And I don't know why this is giving me such grief today. Let's try to focus on this. But it is. So in here each day they've been spawning about 15 eggs, and there's only 2 threadfin females and maybe 2, if not 3, of the Rhamnocentris. So I don't know whose eggs are whose right now in that tank, but they're all spawning very heavily, which is great. And I'm not even feeding them live food. I hadn't even started that. There's another egg. Let's see if you guys can see it. Right. We'll get really close. Right. This is probably futile with the focus. I need to buy a better camera. They're just so expensive. Once you get over a certain level of price, they just are crazy expensive. Why can't we focus on this? Let me get my finger right next to it. Let me just touch it. There we go. Or maybe this way. Wow. It's not gonna focus on this egg ever. Maybe we can tuck the egg back up on behind some darker moss. Like right here. It's under my nail is touching it. Yeah, it doesn't look like it. Well, that's a bummer. Because they're really pretty. They glow like little pearls if you have an LED light on your phone or something to search for them with. And it's fun. It's like an Easter egg hunt. So I love looking through spawning mops. And when it's moss, it just feels so nice, and it smells like, the wild. It smells like nature. But shining a bright LED light at night, not in the daytime, helps, or actually using sunlight. So there's another egg, if we can see it, right where my finger is. Can we see it? Right there. Boy, you really can't. Okay. Well, I'm gonna stop wasting your time on this hopeless endeavor, I guess. What if we, like, pull all these eggs out? There's a bunch of eggs on here. And we pull them all out, and we put them on my finger, and then dip them in the jar. Okay. So, they're so teeny. There's the egg right there. That's it. So teeny. Right there. But in 3 days, that'll be a fish. That will be a fish. And here's another egg. Right there. That will be a fish. That's probably the Radnocentris egg. That one is bigger than the other teeny tiny one that you can't see, really. Oh, and great, I just dropped it. But you can handle them like this on the dry. I mean, like, here's another one. I could just pick them off here real quick. I'll do this later, but, I love doing this. Like I said, it's just relaxing. And you can just roll them gently like this, and they'll roll right off. And if you have cleanish hands, no soapy water or rubbing alcohol or anything on them, then you can get the eggs. See, I've got 3 on my fingers here, 2 on the top finger and 1 on the bottom. And then you just take your finger and you just dunk it back into the methylene blue that's waiting. And then when you're done, I mean, you can do this daily, you can do this weekly, or you can let nature take its chance and see if the babies hatch. But the eggs are very prone to fungal infections, I've learned. I'm going to put these ones in this methylene blue, which is stronger, to see if we can stave off that infection possibility. And it'll sink down into that jar. Whereas in here, you guys can probably see there's a couple that have fungus over. That big one there, that's a Radnocentris compared to the other eggs. Alright, let's see here. Enough of eggs. You guys probably don't care about eggs. I'm waiting for the Eggman. Okay, Thomas V with the first super chat of the evening, afternoon, day, morning, wherever you may be. Thank you so very much. It's a $2 sticker that says cool. Bud Aquatics, welcome. Welcome, come on in. Good to see you. Hey Alex, do I need to be concerned about catching a parasite or infection from having a cut on my hand while doing maintenance in the aquarium? Well, that's a great question, Dell. The short answer is no. Probably not. Especially if your aquariums aren't cesspools. But the long answer is yes. You could get MRSA, you could get staph, you could get, if you have turtles or amphibians or, some fish too, you could get salmonella. These are all things that could happen in theory. But most people, all the people in this country that work in their fish tanks, most are fine. Most of them end up just fine. But that being said, yes, there is a slight remote possibility. And if you're curious about it, I've actually gone over there's crazily enough, look at all these blue shrimp right here. Crazily enough, there are about 40 diseases that humans can get from fish tanks, And most are from snails. Actually, snails are the thing that carries them. And look at the snail; it's surfing, and it's out eating, like it's out of its shell eating, but it's surfing, caught suspended perfectly in the bubble stream, neutrally buoyant. Look at that; it's feeding off of the little particles in the water. That's hilarious. I've never seen him do that. I've seen him surf and eat upside down on the top plenty of times, but yeah. Let's see here. Would by letting the eggs naturally die off help push the future babies to made by those produce spawn better? No, Mr. Gromby, it not really. I mean, it's just a matter of here we have very low TDS, and because of that, we don't have a bacterial load that's very high in our water when you do water changes frequently in our tanks here. And so we have an issue of there not being a robust ecosystem in our tap water. A lot of tap water, believe it or not, has stuff that you can drink and eat that's bacterial or viral or fungal or whatever it may be. Planaria eggs, for instance. But it just isn't gonna hurt you, so nobody cares and it's fine, you know. But there are things in the water where I live that just tend to cause that rot, and having the very soft water. Hard water tends to kind of put off that. Now, the other caveat to that is if you have soft water, but it's so soft that it's really acidic, then that will protect your eggs on their own, in that the acidity of the water will stop it. So there's that. But let's see, how's this Borelli doing? This Apisto Borelli is doing good, looking nice and colorful today. And this is the rock that I pictured in the thumbnail, which is Shrimp Pride Rock. It looks like the gouramis probably cleared off most of the rock already earlier by scaring them. But you can see Malawa shrimp have a really wide range of color when you select for it. If you don't select for it at all, most of them stay yellow, clear, gray. Here's a female samurai gourami here. And the other night, I don't know if you guys saw the video, but all the female gourami, or all the gouramis, period, not just the females, they all sleep together in this corner every night, and it's really adorable. I love it. Let's see here. Whoa, Eve Howard, thank you so much. I really, really appreciate it. All the fishy business is happening. We got a $20, 25, is that Australian dollars? Super chat. Thank you so very much. That is so generous of you. I greatly appreciate it. Celebrate good times. Come on. That means that we can get some more food. Hey, New Mexico Clark, what's going on, little Bobby? How's it going, man? So yeah, the other thing is I want to put, I've mentioned this before, but we're going to put something here, whether it's shelves. I've also got my brine shrimp hatchery going, just sitting over here with all the boxes of moving stuff. And another one under there with the microscope and stuff. But I need to move all that. There's another Whisper Tetra filter that I think is what I'll use on this for now. And then I do want to get a linear piston pump rather than using this Whisper Tetra. Although this wasn't bad. I can try to put a link in the description later. Speaking of affiliate links, like we talked about in the beginning, like I said, if you guys need to buy something on Amazon, Amazon.com, just go to your favorite creator's channel. It doesn't need to be mine, but go to your favorite creator's channel and click on their affiliate link and then search for whatever it is you want. That will literally give them a cut of your profit. Take a cut of Amazon's profit if you don't like Amazon, by the way. But you have to use them, or you feel like you have to use them. And then, yeah, it's a great way to do it. He's going to eat the dust right off my fingers. You're so cute. Oh, but the thing I was saying about fish and diseases. I have a whole episode called "Can My Aquarium Make Me Sick?" and it's an hour or hour and a half long. It's very, very thorough. Lots of research went into that one. And if you have compromised immune system from HIV or cancer, you're on chemo or prednisone or something, high dose, then you might want to be a little bit careful. Let's see here. Can you have items already in the cart? Then press the affiliate link to finish the order. I'm not sure about that, but my guess would be that you have to go to whoever's Amazon page, and you could empty your cart, then go to their page and re-add those things to your cart. But basically, the main thing is that you click and you get onto Amazon, because Amazon is just like Google or YouTube in that they want you on their ecosystem, and by ecosystem they mean their website, their brand, their web page, whatever. And so essentially, they want you looking at anything, and they don't care how you get there. So if you buy golf clubs or freaking shaving razors and a backpack, but you got there because you clicked on fish food, it doesn't matter. They're still going to give that to the person who reminded you, oh, I need to grab something on Amazon. So that's, like I said, that is the big secret for how you can give free money that's not out of your pocket to creators when you're going to buy something. And it's the same price. You don't pay any more or anything. You just take money from Amazon, which is great. So they've got plenty of money. Look at the little Pea Puffers. I love them. I fed these guys some bloodworms in the Pea Puffer video and go over a lot of their history and who discovered them and some other stuff like that. Secret history living in your aquarium. What about Audible? Just hit the link in the description and it helps you. Yeah, if you go there and you follow the link and do the free trial, that's what helps me. I mean, even looking at it would like in theory, both YouTube and or I should say Amazon likes, and so it will then promote some of your listings or give you a higher percentage if you've got more traffic. The more traffic you get, the higher percentage you can end up getting. But basically, the Audible thing is just you might have to enter info if you haven't already for Google or Amazon in the past, and you sign up for 30 days. That gives me, I think, somewhere between $2 and $5, depending on if you do it. And then if you keep it, it's like somewhere between $4 and $10 or something can go to the creator. But I haven't had anyone subscribe and keep it yet. A lot of people who want it already had it. Look how yellow this Goby is right now. He's so cute. And I'm waiting to get more of these Luminatus because this guy's all lonely. He's just got the thread fins to hang out with, and he wants to hang out at the very top. But yeah, so I mean that's very helpful. And Audible, like I said, there's a lot of great content on there. I would highly recommend The Dragon Behind the Glass, which is a book about black market arowanas and murder and cartels and gangsters and just crazy auctions and the whole world of organized crime, and then also legitimate farm raising of arowanas. And the new news, if you watched Fish News last month, at the beginning of this month, Fish News was that the Texas legislature has decided to push forward a bill passed in the House, I think, needs to now pass in the Senate, to allow people to buy and sell endangered fish if they were born in captivity, which to me makes sense, because why not have more of these? Yeah, this is pool filter sand, HF or HTH brand. And then let's see here. Mike Omeg, hello, says, you probably have answered this 1,000 times, but do you mind commenting if you sell and ship your livestock? Love your blue and Malawas shrimp. I do sometimes, not this time of year. If you're in the Seattle area, I do it all year long, and anything that I have from plants to fish, I love to do that. And I also barter and trade, work. If you fix cars and you want to buy $400 worth of shrimp, fish, and plants or something, I don't know, that would be a crazy example, but I'm willing to work with people a lot of times. But when it's not like this time of year, and with the delays in postage and shipping, I just definitely am waiting until it's warmed up enough to ship them. But the shrimp in particular, the Malawas, I will ship them because I have bred them for so long and they survive my move really well to a new house. Whereas the Blue Dreams, that's what I have, my colony. And yes, they are from Lucas Brett's years ago when he won the U.S. and World Cup for the best grade shrimp, and I've been improving on the line as he has too since then for the last 4 years. But I just don't ever want anything to happen to this line, and so I keep this tank plus one other. There's some blue shrimp in here too, some really teeny baby ones, and some adults up there. But I just don't ship them because these guys don't handle. I have such nothing water that when people have hard water, these tend to die. The neocardinas tend to die. But you can keep them together, and if you have soft water, then sometimes I will ship the neocardinas. It's just, I paid a premium for these. I actually paid more than the ones on his website even, and I was doing some work for Lucas too. But basically, $10 a shrimp when I started the colony, and yeah. So in any case. Let's see here. Daniel, Keeping Fish, Secret History. Audible thing doesn't work in the UK. Not available membership. 30 days, but doesn't contribute to you, it looks like. Oh, interesting. A lot of people said that they couldn't tell, because 5 or 6 people have signed up for Audible, because they're like, yeah, I'll try it for 30 days. Like, why not? It sounds like I like listening to books while I do water changes, just like I listen to, YouTube or whatever. And they signed up and I got the credit, but there was never any like, you're signing up for, Alex's whatever. They just followed the link and did it via my profile in the description of this, under this video or any video that has a link to Audible. They just clicked it and that led to it. Look at this blue and gold neon Stiphodon. So pretty, the male. But yet again, my camera's messing up. I think the humidity in here might be messing with the sensor a little bit on the fine focusing, is what I'm thinking. But I think lots of things. Doesn't mean they're right. Let's see here. Kevin Rosenberg. Hello. Okay, Daniel, Keeping Fish. That's what you did. Yeah, I mean, if you did that and you want to do a free trial anyways, I can let you know if it doesn't tell me the name of who did it, I don't think. But if I know that at, this time at 5:30 or whatever, 5:45 my time, I see that I got credit for someone signing up, then I can let you know that was the case. It would actually help me. I'd be able to figure out then if that's how it works. Because I'm still new to it, but I was trying to think of ways that people could offer to support the channel without having to just drop their own cash. Because everyone's tight on cash right now. I know how it goes. The stimulus came and everybody needed it, that's for sure. It was just enough to remind people of how much more money they need to do all the other things in their life. Oh yeah, golden white cloud time is coming up, that's for sure. You're down in Oregon and have hard well water, 180 grains, carbonate hardness, 7.6H. The blues could probably adapt to that. I just wouldn't want to ship them. Shipping them really stresses them. These blues are a little finicky. I'd ship you, cherry reds or Rillies or any other neocaridina pretty much, other than the green jades and these blue line. These blue lines are just really used to soft water, like RO water, basically. I think this tank is like 60 TDS because my tap water is 20 to 30 TDS, but also because they live with these panda loaches. And these panda loaches will not eat the baby shrimp at all. It's incredible. You can probably see all the little babies in here on the leaves and things. And there's planaria in here because the loaches eat it. The planaria. It's like their diet is planaria and algae and whatever the heck is in these Aquatic Arts wafers. Aquatic Arts told me that they're going to start making some more foods, new foods and things, and I'm going to try them out on my tanks. So I'll let you guys know if there's any other good products. And I'm not going to tell you that something's decent if it's not. You know, if it's just as good as anything else, I'm not going to write home about it, you know. All right, you guys. I think I am going to wrap things up here. Sergio, you're still a little crooked, brother. Oh, you going to bite me? You're ornery. Okay. All right, fine. Be ornery. Whatever. Thank you so much, you guys. I really appreciate all you do. After this video, if you feel like watching more videos, why don't you go support another creator that's a lot smaller than me? Go pick a channel from somebody with, under 1,000 people and watch their videos for a while. I'd appreciate that if you're in the mood. If not, then do whatever you want. I can't tell you what to do. But I'll be back on Tuesday. Probably have another video out in between then. I've been kind of cranking them out, some longer formats, but that's kind of what the heart of this channel goes back to. And now that the channel's growing, I know there's some people that are like, come on, dude, all these videos are so long-winded. But I'm here to tell you guys a story, to chat with you. A lot of these I'm trying to kind of model so that they could be a podcast. You don't have to look at the screen. Yeah, you probably want to see me feed the Pea Puffers, or yeah, you want to see what the Stiphodons look like. But the story of how they were discovered, how they evolved, things like that, I'm trying to keep doing that and stay true to like what I started this channel for as it gets bigger, and stay true. I'm really trying to make this my full-time job. I still have to do other things to make ends meet, but that's the goal this year, is to make this the job and to make you guys the best content you've seen from me yet. So that's really the goal. And if you guys have any ideas or input, or say, you're doing this and I just hate it, and I've watched you for a while and I just hate it, let me know. I really, and that's why I did that whole YouTube, how the algorithm works and how you can help YouTube creators, small YouTube creators and medium-sized YouTube creators, other channels like Bob Kaler or Punchy Paints, or Kenny, Big J, Redfish, Bluefish. I'd consider Fatherfish also kind of the medium-sized channel. Small, we're all small on YouTube. Even like Aquarium Co-op is kind of small. The only people who aren't is like Catch 'em All Fishing and King of DIY, I guess. But other than that, Jerry, if you need a long-winded video, the last 3 or 4 I've put out are long if you haven't checked them out yet, and I'd greatly appreciate that if you're in the mood for it. But if you're in the mood for quick videos, I just say, remember that YouTube, now the new mission of the algorithm, is not that you watched a lot of a video necessarily. It is good if you watch a lot of one video, and I'm trying to get rid of all the ads during my videos. It's a default that gets loaded sometimes if I upload from a phone or something, but I can turn it off. So if you ever see ads in the middle, please tell me and I want to turn them off, because some of it was retroactive. But so in any case, what they care about is that you're on YouTube. So whoever got you on YouTube, whatever video you got onto the YouTube zombie mode, where you're just sitting there kicking back watching YouTube, that channel it'll be favorable for their video because it has clickability and stickiness. So in any case, you get ads at the beginning, not in the middle. Okay, the ad in the beginning, that's okay with me as far as like, I don't want to like 2 ads, I don't whatever. But just being a monetized channel, even when I turn off ads, it seems like they run an ad in between, even if I've told them not to. So now I've just left it so that they're going to run an ad. So sorry if you don't like the 30-second ad, skip it. And if you skip a lot of ads, I mean, it's not great for me financially. You don't need to sit there and watch the whole thing or whatever. But they like to know that you're engaged and watching the screen. But I mean, it will learn that you hate ads if you do that for months, and it will stop showing you as many ads. It's a little secret they don't want to tell you, but a YouTube employee came out with a video talking about it. I asked a friend who works for them, and they're like, yeah, the algorithm tries to suit your viewing experience to maximize the amount of videos you're going to watch on their platform, not by one creator or whatever. So, yeah, watch 30 seconds and then skip long ones, totally. That seems fair, Mr. Gromby. I appreciate it. Well, okay, you guys, enough about this. I don't need to rattle on about all that stuff and about rules and regulations and all that. What we've got here, what we're dealing with here is a failure to communicate. And hopefully that failure will get better next time I'm on. Because I'm stopping communicating. My wife and I got up early and went to go look at tulips in tulip fields and daffodils, and maybe I'll share a picture of that, even though it has absolutely nothing to do with fish, other than that it's in an area of Skagit Valley in western Washington that has lots of levees and dikes and fjords that like wind in, and canals and stuff, and the whole area floods frequently because the levees are built in the 1880s by farmers. Okay. All right, guys. Yes, at least I didn't need to look for homes. That's right, Mr. Gromby. Found my home here. Some men you just can't reach. That's right. 50 hard-boiled eggs. All right, I'm glad you guys know. Those of you who know, I'm glad you know that you know what I'm rambling on about. Because there's a lot of times that people think that I've just completely off my rocker, lost it, and you're just not where I'm at, man. Alright, guys. It's just like your opinion, man. I'll talk to you guys later. Have a great night. Take care of your critters. Thank you so much, Super Chatters. Thank you so much, mods. Thank you, people with questions, people who leave comments, people who don't leave comments, lurkers. Thank you, everyone. Good night and farewell. Take care, guys. Bye.